I'm Jean Ruddy, co-founder, along with my husband Victor Keene, of the Performance Garage, resident artist and executive director. The Performance Garage is a home for dance in Philadelphia. We're here for everyone who wants to study, train, and enjoy dance. One of the things that was so exciting about getting the Cultural Corridors money from the city was to be able to fix the things that had been broken around here for so many years. It's really been about a 17-year project. We came into this building and it was an old auto body garage, and we just had to develop it into a dance space without many funds. And so these funds are really the first funds that we've had to fix everything the way we had originally envisioned. When we approached the floors, out went the old floors and in came a beautifully designed basket weave type of floor underneath, and then we were able to put the professional sprung floor on top of both floors and this very nice marley, and we're very excited about that. It's going to be so much better for all the dancers, and they will have a longer career by working on these floors. The second thing that is so great about our renovations is that our ceiling was completely redone. We also have, most importantly, we have air conditioning now. And we didn't have air conditioning for all these years, and so in the summer months, we really sweat a lot. So now we can sweat, but we will be able to cool off too, and most importantly, our audiences will be able to be more comfortable. We also put in an incredible tech booth. For us, we had just a table on the floor, and our tech director had to see over people's heads, and now they're elevated so that they have a perfect view, a very professional, perfect view of the stage, so that they can see the action and call all of the cues properly. The lobby is warm and enveloping. As you walk into the Performance Garage now, you really understand that this place is a place for dance, because there's panels of doors that are movable, and each one has an individual dancer. All of the dancers on the doors have been dancers that have been in this building for the last number of years since we started, and so they are a tribute to all of the work that's gone on inside these walls since 2000. In trying to create the Performance Garage with this renovation, I wanted to be sure that I didn't make choices that would make it feel too new. So we used old wood that was already in the building, and you'll see it in the very entrance as you come in, and also over our movable doors and in the tech booth. The dressing room is warm and inviting. It has brand new carpets, insulation in the ceiling and in the windows, and newly painted walls. The chairs are all new now. I think that dancers will be much more comfortable before they go on to perform. It was a lot of fun sharing with the public. We invited people in a couple of times for hard hat tours, and to show them our process while we were under construction. And we had caution tape, and everyone had little hard hats, and people got very excited about seeing what it was going to be. We're very excited to have received a redevelopment assistance capital program from the state of Pennsylvania, and that is our phase 2, which is coming up. We will be trying to finish our 2 floors that are above Studio B, and actually re-renting them out, which will help sustain the Performance Garage into the future. I want to thank all of the construction people and the crafts people who did their work so beautifully, and I want to also thank my staff who made everything happen very seamlessly. They had to live through the construction site, and I really appreciate their work. I also want to thank the donors who helped us get here, and especially my husband, Victor F. Keene, who was the major donor and helped us complete this project in the way it needed to be done. So thank you all very much. You did a wonderful job, and so many people will benefit from it over the years. Thank you.
This is so exciting to share all of this with you. So many of you, almost everybody in this room, helped make this happen, I feel like. But we do have a few people here that I should really identify that were actually in that film. Our architect is here with us, Jeb Brookman. He's got that was his little boy. And we have our, I introduced our Addison Young project managers. Where are you? Yes. Would you stand up? And you walked in and you saw some beautiful big images of dance on our doors that fold in like a sliding glass door. Thank you, Jeff, for figuring this out. And it wasn't easy because it's an 18-inch rate of this floor, so it's very hard to figure out. But that was done by Mr. Bob Emmett, and he's here somewhere tonight. Bob, Bob has some of his other images up on the wall, an exhibition for you all to check out as we finish tonight. I'm not going to say much tonight. We have honorees and people that are going to introduce them. I did want to just say that we're very honored to have received the RACP grant, the Redevelopment Assistance Capital Project grant. I think you may have heard it, but we did just, it is a good thing to say it again. We received from the state $1 million. We're going to renovate the upper 2 floors over Studio B. We need to raise a little bit more money to do it, because if you look up here, the price tag on our air conditioning just alone in the whole building is $200,000. So, just getting air conditioning can really eat up a lot of money. But and there's project managers. It really costs a lot. So, at any rate, I'm going to let Millie Langberg come up here and help you understand a few of the people that have really been so important in our community. Here you go, Millie Langberg.
I hope you look at the bio in your program about Bayard Storey. It's a very nice thing, and it tells you that he and his family came into this area in 1958, and they were in Whitewash Township. They raised 4 children there. But my story about Bayard begins, and I was talking to Emily Brown. She has maybe a similar experience. When we met them out at Warren and Jane Roro's farm in Christiana, that was quite a hanging spot for artists in the area. And we had a wonderful conversation there, he and I, while all the artists were talking to each other. I do remember Bayard Storey telling me about practical chemistry, everyday chemistry, because I was a preschool teacher. And we were in that beautiful spot with raspberries and apple trees lining the driveway, and a barn out of Charlotte's Web, and a big pond with an enormous bullfrog that would sound off every now and then. And so that was my meeting of Bayard, and I have known him a little bit ever since. By the 1970s and 80s, the Storeys were frequent attendees supporting all the art community in Philadelphia. They went to ICI, Academy of Fine Arts, Marion Locke's Gallery, Moore College of Art, and of course PMA, where his wife had really dug in. But Bayard's work in reproductive biology had led him to feel very strongly about the rights of women and reproductive rights in particular. And he became more and more political, supporting candidates whose platforms included this commitment. He supported people like Ed Rendell, who came tonight to say hello to him, Allison Schwartz, Joe Sestak, Bob Casey, and as Bayard tells me, many of the young women across the state who were running for office. I'm telling you all of this name-dropping stuff so you will appreciate the kind of place that they designed with the help of Diane Boone, another name. She was an interior decorator, and their architect. It was extraordinary for this neighborhood. They brought a stimulating mix of painters, poets, teachers, physical therapists, architects, politicians, carpenters, craftspeople, movers and shakers who might include Anne Darncourt, the head of the Philadelphia Museum of Art, and curator Joe Rischel, who's in the audience tonight. Joe, thank you so much for coming. The long floor that was in that loft-like space was delineated with lots of little groupings of chairs and little tables and little wonderful things to look at. And it was very clear what each area invited. There were reading areas, and they would sit down and have a drink, or tea areas, and all of that. And you were surrounded by a wonderful art collection. And when you came to the front door down on Brandywine, you were met by this congenial man, often with a bow tie, sometimes red, and he would welcome you in like a member of the family, and you just felt like you were at home. And when you got to the top of the steps, someone would hand you a glass of chilled wine. It was a very impressive act. Eventually, the Gene Ruddy Dance Company was being formed in the 1990s, the late 1990s. And the building was bought in the 1500 block where we are now in 2000. And this arduous renovation took 2 years to complete. And our first performance, as I recall, was at the Wilma Theater, not here because we were not ready for prime time. But I remember slipping announcement after announcement under the door or through the slot at Bridie and Bayard's house. And one of those days, they finally, at one of our events, they appeared, and they have been with us continuously since. Every time they were in town or physically able to, I remember they came with crutches and all sorts of things, arm slings and things, but they seemed to feel that the show must go on, and they were just wonderful, wonderful supporters. He came this summer, I think Jean mentioned, in a hard hat and bent over with considerable back issues. A few weeks ago, Bayard was hospitalized with a leg infection, which he hoped was a very minor thing and that he could get done with and get on with. We had hoped up until about yesterday that he would be here on the front row in a wheelchair, but it was decided that really much more physical therapy was the thing to do. But we're going to carry all these words that you have said to us, all the messages tonight, and through the photographs and video to Bayard. And Megan, I believe, is going to take that over to him tomorrow. So it is with great pleasure that we recognize this man, Emeritus Professor of Obstetrics and GYN, who's an outspoken champion of women's reproductive rights, a supporter of Planned Parenthood, a beloved supporter of the Performance Garage and all the arts, and the Garage, a place for dance and a diverse community to meet. Let's give him a hand.
Sharon Friedler's dear husband, John Sherman, who has been a faculty
Thank you all for being here tonight, and welcome to this lovely space, the Performance Garage. My name is Sharon Friedler, and I'm so proud to introduce to you Sharon Friedler tonight. I would like to just break from the script, my script, just for a moment to make a few comments. I would like to thank each and every one of you for participating in tonight's celebration. It means so much to all of us. Your support, kindness, and generosity are greatly appreciated by me, by Sharon, the Performance Garage, and all the performers you'll see this evening. I want to extend a huge thank you to Judy Williams. Judy's here somewhere. Thank you, Judy. To Megan Savet. Thank you, Megan. And especially Jean Ruddy and Victor King. Thank you so much. Thank you. This means so much to all of us, what you've done. And for tonight's with the help of many others, have made the Performance Garage into a space that contributes so greatly to Philadelphia's diverse cultural community. So again, thank you, Jean, thank you, Victor, and all of you, thank you. Back to script. After directing a University of Minnesota dance program for 9 years, Sharon came here in 1985. She was professor and director of dance at Swarthmore College through 2014. Retiring from the faculty in 2016. Sharon quickly integrated fully into local educational and professional dance communities. In 1989, Susan Glazer was here also. Susan's right there, she is. Lovely Susan Glazer. All right. Continued to collaborate with Sharon, editing a book together and working on another conference entitled Philadelphia Dances 2,000 Feet that welcomed student and professional participants from numerous countries to our beautiful city, Philadelphia. Later, with Dr. Kayamu Welsh from Temple University, Sharon co-chaired the Dance of Our Ancestors Festival, investigating African and African diasporan traditions with participants from Africa, the Caribbean, Canada, and the United States. Collaborations with local, national, international choreographers, dancers, scholars, and activists continue to shape Sharon's work over the years. Along with her colleagues at other institutions and through funding awarded by numerous public and private agencies and foundations, many guest artists were hosted for short-term as well as semester and year-long visits. These exchanges widen conversations and understandings about our field of Philadelphians with colleagues from countries around the world. Between 1995 and 2015, a summer residency program, which is called the Swarthmore Project, initiated by Sharon at Swarthmore College, allowed many local and national choreographers and dancers given space and time to create new, innovative, and interesting creative work. In fact, a number of Philadelphians who have taught or performed at the Performance Garage in other venues in Philadelphia and beyond were beneficiaries of these residencies, including work with Freddie Ballet, Ballet Fleming, Ballet X, Zane Booker, Green Chair Dance Group, Idiosyncrasy, Nicole Canuso, Savannah Cardell, Leela Jones, Matthew Neenan, Siobhan Norris, Brian Sanders, as well as one of tonight's choreographers, Meredith Rain. Perhaps you've heard of some of them. It is clear that Sharon sees creative exchange among individuals and styles as central to inclusive dialogues in dance. During her 32 years in Philadelphia dance community, she has encouraged and presented those dialogues. Being a member of this community continues to deepen and broaden her own understanding, as well as her commitment and service to Philadelphia dance. I'd like to finish with this short poem composed by me. I love poetry, so here it goes. It's titled Sharon Mary. Sharon Mary, a woman that I respect, honor, love, and adore. And yes, you are perfect, even though you do snore.
Right. Thank you, Michael. He snores too. Just so we're clear about that. As John noted, much of my dance life in Philadelphia
has centered on developing new voices and building dialogues in academic, professional, and community settings. Therefore, it is especially joyful and meaningful to me to receive this recognition from the Performance Garage, a venue that fosters access to and strengthens community across a wide variety of dance traditions. Since its founding, this garage has lived up to its heritage as a place of hard work. The dance mechanics have built numerous models and engineered much progress. Such an all-hands-in and open arms approach is especially significant during this time in our nation when the value and centrality of the arts is under extreme attack. So, Victor, Jean, all of the staff at the Performance Garage, thank you, thank you, thank you. But, paraphrasing Camus, meaning is found in the struggle, not in victory, in the process, not in the outcomes. So we will rise again. For me, tonight's process and outcomes are about gratitude. I am honored and humbled to be recognized for my work as one member of our vibrant and diverse Philadelphia community. It is a special pleasure to be included along with tonight's other awardees, whose contributions and dedication to this community are considerable, one of whom has been my dear partner in a lot of work at Bryn Mawr and Swarthmore. Thank you, Linda. I am also deeply thankful to my husband, John, my other family members who are here tonight, my dear friends from near and far who have joined us. Their questions, their insights, their constant support have made it possible for me to deepen, enliven, and they have inspired my path. Finally, I'm grateful to the Dance for PD dancers and the Parkingsingers for performing this evening for us and with us. Together, we continue to build community each week through dance and music. We find ease, logic, joy, and hope in making dance and music together. Tonight, we're happy to share our process with you. As they come to the stage, I'd like to welcome Holly Ferris, the director of the Parkinsingers, and the Parkinsingers Chorus, as well as the Dance for PD dancers. Thank you so much.
living with Parkinson's, and people here who are care partners, and people here who are folks who love music and dance. So you are welcome to join us. Thank you so much.
And no previous dancing or singing experience necessary. If you have a pulse, show up.
It's a good demonstration of dance and how it affects all of us and combines with what Bayard does with medicine. And it's just so inspiring, the difference of Sharon and John, how they affect so many people. It's incredible. So I just wanted to say the work of Linda and Sharon combined, if you add up all of their years, which I decided to do, sorry, they have been training young people in Philadelphia in the art of dance at their various Bryn Mawr and the Swarthmore. It's 77 years together. It's pretty amazing. We are going to have Mr. Bill Bissell come up. He is he's in charge of the programming at the Pew Center of Arts and Heritage. He is a wonderful mentor and has been my mentor and almost everybody in Philadelphia who's a choreographer over the years. I'm not sure how many years Bill has been here, but I'm liking numbers. He can tell you when he gets up here. But it seems like a long time, doesn't it? And one of the things that Bill is really good at when you're writing a grant is he always says to me, unmask that term. Unmask it. So Bill Bissell, please introduce Linda Caruso-Haviland. Thank you.
So I don't know about the term unmasking these days, but I have to change the vocabulary. Also, I'm not in charge of all programming at the Pew Center for Arts and Heritage. I direct the performance area, and formerly I directed dance events before the present incarnation. So don't worry, they are 4 pages, but it's very large. And I am struggling with these glasses. Thank you, Jean, for asking me to introduce Linda. And I want to thank you not only for the further development of the space, but also for your imaginative decision to use this rededication as an opportunity to honor significant contributors to Philadelphia's cultural communities. The leadership and commitment this building represents is vital to the fabric of our life here, all of our lives, artists and audience members. So first, I want to make sure that I offer my congratulations to Jean, to Victor, and all of their team, as well as their funders, for realizing the Performance Garage as such an active presence in our city. I will commence now with my 2 minutes of introduction, and I'll start with a quote. The making is the meaning, to look and record as thoroughly as possible. These words struck me recently for their clarity and for their applicability to any creative practice. To be sure, they are not my words, nor I have to confess, the words of the person I'm introducing tonight, Linda Caruso-Haviland, one of our honorees. They are the words of a brilliant painter, Lydia Selmans, an American painter who began her life in this country in the late 1940s as an immigrant from Latvia. As an artist, she is steadfast in her dedication to her practice, notorious for working slowly to make paintings that demand two things of us simultaneously. Read each mark that her brush leaves on the canvas while retaining the whole image in the mind's eye. I quote Lydia Selmans as a way to acknowledge the vital link between creativity and education. Her very particular words characterize for me Linda's continuing work in the art of dance and in the education of those of us who believe that every body does indeed dance. And I could also say that, Sharon. Making, meaning, looking, recording, thorough. These words dance too. This language enables us to describe the conditions, the actions that any of us follow when living inside the realm of imagination, when transforming ideas into practice. In Linda's vocabulary, these words address phenomenology. For me, phenomenology is one of those words that always suggests that I pause and think about meaning. And of course, in my interaction with Linda, such vocabulary has led to many other words, as well as to the entire history of ideas by thinkers across time. This included a review of continental philosophy, a deep theory about the archive, something from which I was mostly quite unfamiliar. And then the many practitioners of thought who I had to study up on, such as Derrida, Deleuze, Foucault, Merleau-Ponty, to name the most recent. I read, and felt I was learning so much, which I hope I did, but I really ask your indulgence not to quiz me or ask you to define any of these bodies of work right now. So back to phenomenology, or how we come to know the varied ways in which our body's apprehension of knowledge takes place. I am not kidding. This is where Linda goes, or she did with me, in our conversations about an idea that was so nascent in my mind at the time. She effectively worked to explode the words archive and body. She turned the noun body, as I knew it, into the verb body, over and over again. This kind of conversation can be circuitous at times, but it was a fabulous release for me from my work and from my daily regimen to connect with such a fundamental approach to the body that exists before the dance, but which is always already the dance. I feel like Joe Biden, but without the F-bomb. This is a big deal. It also speaks to why we together have made the book, The Sentient Archive, Bodies, Performance, and Memory, to link dance to the larger world of ideas where I am sure we can all agree it truly belongs. Something that, when dancing, can easily forget. Well, and so why is dance so important? Because movement is about how we know. It is part of every body's cognitive apparatus. Linda and I had our first of many chats during our collaboration with Susan Foster, an art scholar, when she was holding a series of performance lectures in Philadelphia. This was when we were agreeing to develop a book together, commiserating in various venues over the separation of dance discourse into carefully ordered factions. Specializations or silos are important to focus research on any content. Ignore this. But is it more generative to research if there is a platform like a book that crosses boundaries of genre, form, style, and discipline? This was our question, and it continues. Our conversation spirals in the beginning. From my simplistic notion of the body as an archive, our work became about creating a manuscript that might give a more expansive platform for voices speaking in various shapes, sizes, and idioms, but which all vitally link dance to the realm of ideas and to the philosophers that have informed Linda's interest for many decades. From the start, the study of philosophy and its Western lineages across centuries has been wedded to Linda's dancing practice. have something I excise, because I know I'm going to change some time limit, but I'm curious as to whether Helmut Gotcha, someone that Linda worked with for some time, how we can fantasize about discussions between Linda and Helmut on Kant or other forms of continental philosophy. I think it can be really intriguing. Linda has taught me to want to know more about linking ideas and thoughts to action, to understand embodied beingness, being that is always knowledge, knowledge made by and stored in the body, meaning, making, looking, thorough, recording. There is no doubt in my mind that Linda's students over the years have benefited from her curiosity, her rigor, and her interdisciplinarity. I know this because I have been one of them, perhaps in an extended education, lifelong learning kind of way, but one who nevertheless has been invigorated by how she has steadily pursued her questions. Questions which might be rooted in dance, but embrace the body as a thinking, creative being. I want to end with another quotation. I cannot say it better than one of the references that emerged in our work on the section body, taken from Phenomenology of Perception by Maurice Gordon. Quote, our body is comparable to a work of art. It is a nexus of lived beings.
Hi. So Bill, if you don't know him, has advanced and enriched dance life, as well as dance artistry in the city, more than anybody knows. So, I feel privileged to have worked with him. It's more than you'll ever know. I'm not very good at this talking, but I will take 2 minutes of your time nevertheless. I started dancing in Philadelphia when I was 5 years old. I am now 68. So even if you calculated the time that I've been in other states, I have spent a half century performing, working, living in houses with dancers, being a part of this dance community for a very, very, very long time. And it has been really precious time to me. I just want to mention at least 2 people. When I started seriously studying dance when I was 10 years old with a woman named Jean Williams. I'd like to mention her name because not a lot of people know about her anymore. But she was a really important person in my life and in the lives of many generations of dancers here in Philadelphia. Not only because of what she was able to teach us about dancing, but it was also a racially integrated dance studio. And it was only years later that I realized that that was not the norm at the time. So there are many things that I took with me into my life because of her, and it's very important. I did go away for a while. I studied dance in an undergraduate institution. I met my husband. We lived in Connecticut for a while, and I worked in New York and taught the New York State system. But we came back here in 1976 to begin my doctoral work, and we have been here ever since. Another person I need to mention, which Bill already did, was Helmut Friedler. I danced with Zero Moving Company for, 8, 9 years, a long time, and he was an extremely important mentor as well. I'm mentioning all of this because this dance community is a community that I love, really deeply love. I have lived with them. They have made space for me, and they're so important in my life and what it is that I do and how I think about things. How I think about things constantly as a dancer. I did this other thing, as Bill mentioned. I'm curious about dance. I wanted to know what it was, what it meant, what its implications were politically, culturally, socially, all those things. And that really led me to my doctoral studies. But it also led me to what I think is a kind of very natural connection, at least for me, and that was to figure out how to bring academia together with this really public world of performance and artistry and audiences. I felt that there was really a way to be able to do that. And so I have tried, and I'm grateful for all the opportunities that people gave me to really go into that toolkit and pull out whatever's there. You know, whether it's language or it's ideas or it's whatever, to help dancers and to support their work and to help them make their work more accessible to audiences too. So I am honored. I am really honored to be part of that community and honored that they've allowed me to engage with them and to work with them. And I hope and I invite them to continue to do that as well, because it's important work that's work that has to continue to be done. Told you I was going to speak. But I do want to thank my husband. Been here for a very long time. My oldest friend this year, although she likes to keep reminding me that I in fact am older than she is, Bill for so much. Sharon and I applied for, I was just thinking about this, we applied for our first grant. And our husbands at the time reminded us that we went to Harrisburg, you remember, to get this grant, and they reminded us that we probably could have made more money than the grant just by practicing the old profession. That's probably we put together, and we have worked together on projects for a long time. But there are many people here who I need to thank. I see Laser up there. And as many people know, Susan has the distinction of not only having been one of my bosses at the university, she was my high school French teacher. Also gone around the world. But many people I know here, colleagues, Meredith, oh my goodness, Meredith Brady and Tia for bringing up your today. And these dancers you will see just a minute who are just incredible. I am so grateful to you for doing this. But I also want to thank all of you. I want to thank you because each and every one of you that are here tonight, you're in that seat because you support dance, or you're literally supporting a dancer. That's all good. Whatever it is, it's all good because as days ahead of us look a little bleak for the arts, it's you who keep this vital in this city. You're the people who help to make arts continue and be alive and be vital and be important, and it doesn't happen without you. So that's amazing. And Jean, wherever she is over there, thank you. It is so kind of you to have thought to do this for me. I'm like flabbergasted. But your presence and this amazing space that you and Victor and your colleagues have made, it really plays an incredibly important part in the dance life of the city as well. So I think we all this is not my forte. I much prefer to be moving than speaking, but I'm really grateful for just to have been part of this community, to be a part of the artists and makers and the people who make it happen. Boy, they do it sometimes against the most amazing odds with shoestring budgets, but they do it and make it happen, and I'm just so thankful that they've chosen to live their lives. Thank you.
Thank you.